Welcome back to our Steelers draft series, where today we're exploring the top picks of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the 1940s. Starting with 1940 top pick, running back Kay Eakin from Arkansas. Eakin would play 2 seasons with the Giants before going into military service and finishing his career with the Miami Seahawks of the All American Football Conference. In 1941, the Steelers would wait until the second round for their first pick, selecting center Chet Gladchuk from Boston College. Gladchuk never played for the Steelers as well and would play for the Giants over 28 games in his 3 NFL seasons. After 2 misses, the Steelers would strike gold in 1942. Running back Bill Dudley was the team's first overall pick, and in his 3 seasons with the Steelers, he would shine. He would ultimately become the team's all time leading rusher and all time interceptor, and would win the Joe F. Carr Memorial Trophy, the equivalent of the NFL MVP, in 1946. In 1943, the Steelers would select Bill Daly, a fullback from Columbia. Daly would never play with the Steelers and would spend the entirety of his career in the All American Football Conference. In 1944, the Steelers selected Johnny Podesto, a halfback from St. Mary's in California. Despite his high draft billing, Podesto would never play in the NFL. In 1945, the Steelers had one of the most interesting first selections in NFL history. They would select Paul Duhart from Florida, but Duhart had already played in the NFL and won a title before being drafted by the Steelers. Duhart played with the Packers in 1944 after being granted special permission to play in the league. Duhart entered the draft the next season and played briefly for the Steelers. In 1946, the Steelers selected Doc Blanchard, a running back from Army. Despite winning the Heisman Trophy in college, Blanchard would never play in the professional ranks. In 1947, the Steelers selected end Hub Bechtel from Texas. Bechtel was another player that would never play for the Steelers and would play for the Colts in the AAFC. In 1948, there's debate over the Steelers' first selection. The Steelers selected quarterback Bobby Lane third overall, but Lane's rights were sold immediately to the Chicago Bears, making many believe that he was never actually selected by the Steelers. If that's truly the case, the Steelers' first overall selection was in Dan Edwards, who would never play for the Steelers. And finally, in 1949, the Steelers' first selection was defensive back Bob Gage from Clemson. Gage still holds a Steelers record to this day. In his rookie season in 1949, Gage took the longest run in Steelers history to the house, a 97-yard fake punt for a touchdown. We'll see you back here tomorrow to explore the first picks of the 1950s for the Steelers.